Welcome to the glassBYTEs.com monthly newscast for April 2009, sponsored by AGRR magazine. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Penny Stacy, editor of AGRR magazine and its online news service, glassBYTEs.com. Today we'll be looking at March's top news and events, and believe me, it's been a busy month. Early in March, the Auto Glass Replacement Safety Standards Council held its annual board meeting in Charlottesville, Virginia. The group also took a field trip in conjunction with the meeting to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. The center, funded solely by insurance companies, works to investigate vehicle safety issues and in turn decrease insurance claims. The AGRR Council board not only toured the facility, but also got to see the group in action as they crash tested a 2009 Ford Focus Coupe. Several board members also took some time to talk to glassBYTEs about what they took away from the day's events.
Typically when I've been to a crash test, obviously I'm paying attention to the windshield and what's going on there, and not only was I obviously looking at that, but the ability to see what happens to the whole car, and after getting some education here, what they're looking for, the deflection and how the body reacts and things. It was really interesting.
What I'm probably the most impressed about is the cooperative action going on between the insurance community and the automobile engineers with the data. There doesn't seem to be a lot of politics, if you would be. It seems to be a lot of synergy and harmony going on to use this data and the right data, but it's amazing the value in terms of safety of what consumers get in their cars today. That's what was validated for me today.
In addition to learning about the Institute and its work, those in attendance had a purpose: to share a message about the importance of proper auto glass installations with the Institute staff. Cindy Ketcherside, outgoing AGRR Council President, led the discussion.
It really was about building a relationship with an institute that actually does crash testing. And because the windshield and the auto parts that are bonded are part of the structural integrity of a car, and that being the case, we are part of crash testing and understanding what happens when a crash occurs. And actually through our conversations with the Institute, we found that they were not even familiar that the windshield was part of the structural integrity of the car. So now, based upon these conversations that we've had, based upon us going through a tour, we now can build a relationship with them, and again, allowing people to understand that the windshield is part of that structural integrity. And how can we work together to be able to increase highway safety?
During the annual board meeting, the AGRR Council elected new officers whose terms start this week. Deborah Levy, publisher of AGRR magazine, was elected board president. She's joined by Glass America's president, David Rolfing, who will serve as vice president and president-elect. Migrants Jean Perot will serve as treasurer, and Joel Timmons of Profitable Glass Solutions will serve as secretary. The AGRR Council currently is gearing up for its third-party validation program. The launch of the program is planned for June of this year. Ketcherside also provided an update on this.
We have gone through different phases, as we call in our registration process with AGRR. And the registration process, we were in phase one, and phase one was the I will. We were getting the industry to actually understand that there was a standard out there. We went into phase two, which we are still currently in, and that's the I do phase, and comes to self-auditing. A glass company that is actually registered with AGRR will do a self-audit, and we'll go through actually each section of the audit and prove to AGRR, just through evidence and documentation, that they are actually complying. Phase 3 is the area that we've worked for so long, that will take place starting June 1st, 2009, where we will actually have a third-party, independent auditor or validator go into glass companies that are registered, and they will validate the shop, a location, as well as validating each technician at that location.
So far, there's been mixed reaction to the program. Many are fearful, and others, such as Michael Paley of Freedom Glass in Richmond, Virginia, are hopeful about the value third-party validation is expected to bring to their businesses.
I'm very, very excited about it. I think the third-party validation for AGRR is going to be good because In the past, it was one of those things where we just had to commit to, yeah, we promised to do the right things, but there was no meat with the potatoes, so to speak. And now with the validation aspect, we can actually go out and say, look, we're not only doing the right things, but we're being checked and rechecked to verify that we're doing the right things.
Dow Automotive Technical Services Manager Dale Malcolm, who has long been involved with the AGRR Council and the development of the standard, also is hopeful.
I think third-party validation adds a level of credibility to it. I think there's a little bit of fear factor in there. People don't want to be the first company that fails an audit. A lot of companies are looking to say the adhesive company to come in and assist in their preparation for their folks for an AGRR audit. Well, there's a lot of things that the adhesive company isn't going to teach their people. They're going to have to do some of the heavy lifting themselves, do some research, put together binders, show their people where the information is. You can't just outsource your training completely and say, okay, well, I got this guy doing my AGRR audit prep training and I don't have to think about that anymore. If you're not thinking about it every day, you're probably not going to be ready.
Now we'll go to a commercial message from the Independent Glass Association. We'll be talking about the economy and its effects on auto glass businesses after this message. It would seem that so far that many auto glass businesses are escaping the economic troubles that much of the nation is enduring. Gold Glass Group recently moved into a new facility on Long Island, New York. The company allowed glassbytes.com's Holly Biller to visit the facility. While there, company president Joe Gold spoke with her about both the new facility and what the company is seeing from the economy.
The big thing is the OE. The OE is terrible. Aftermarket, I know everyone complains, and there's a lot of people who are going to have a lot of problems. It's not as bad. I mean, what's happening, first of all, is the OE, since it's so terrible, is taking a lot of their production, both molding companies, glass companies, and all that, and they're focusing on the aftermarket because they've got all this extra capacity. That creates new competitive factors in the aftermarket. How much is the piece count down in the aftermarket? I don't know how much it is. I mean, the oil prices came back down, which is a big thing because people are driving. The northern half of the country in Canada had a very harsh winter, which was good for the glass business. So, again, I'm not taking anything away from how competitive it is out there, but I think we're a little more insulated in the automotive glass aftermarket, which is the segment that GGG serves. I think we're a little bit more insulated than some of the other industries out there.
And Gold's outlook doesn't seem to be isolated.
For us in this area, in the Richmond area, from October to April is generally a slower period of time. November, December, and January for us was extremely slow, but since February, the beginning of February, we've been rocking and rolling, and we're staying quite busy.
Hopefully, this phenomenon will continue throughout the industry, though only time will tell what the economy has in store. In the meantime, please be sure to stay tuned to glassbytes.com for the latest news and updates. Also, watch for our next newscast, scheduled for May 22nd, during which we'll bring you exclusive footage and interviews from the Independence Days Conference, along with the latest news. Thanks again for watching today's Glass Bytes newscast, sponsored by AGRR Magazine. See you next time.